What's up, Super Players? It's your homie Rod, and today we got Omega Shenron, and this deck I have been training hard, playtesting it, and it's guaranteed to make your opponent rage quit. So let's get into the leader. So he has two autos. One auto allows you to pick up the top 5 and search yourself a Shadow Dragon. The other auto allows you to get one of your Shadow Dragons and restand it back to active mode at the end of your turn. The whole point of this deck is to bring out your 1-star and 2-star negative balls to bring out the Shadow Dragons to ultimately beat down your opponent to ultimate death. And you want to stay at high life doing so. So its awakening ability allows you to awaken if you have a unison card with an energy cost specific of 4, and we're going to be running the 4 cost Mechikabura in this deck to allow us to awaken at high life. You could also awaken worst case scenario if your life is at 3 or less, and when you awaken he draws 2 cards and restands one of your energies to active mode, which is very powerful. Then you become negative energy overflow, the beast-like Omega Shenron. What he does is he draws a card when he attacks and he restands all your Shadow Dragons back to active mode at the end of your turn, which is also very powerful. Then a very weird activate main that for a lot of yellow energy, you're able to play up to 7 different Shadow Dragon cards from your drop area. And honestly, I never use that ability, and this deck still makes my opponent rage quit.
Judge.
So we're running 4 Mechikabura Plotting Revival, which is the 4 cost unison card that's going to allow us to awaken our leader at relatively high life. He is a blocker, and he has an auto that when this card loses a marker due to an attack, you're able to switch one of your opponent's cards to rest mode, and we have cards in this deck that allow us to take full advantage of that effect. And he has 2 activate mains, one that adds a marker by drawing a card and keeping one of your opponent's battle cards locked in rest mode, or an activate main, which is the more powerful one. You're able to take away 4 markers to gain control of one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it back to active mode. Very powerful ability right there. We're going to be running 4 of the negative energy 1-star ball because it's the playmaker of the deck. For 1 yellow energy, you're able to bring out a 4 cost Shenron from your deck or hand onto the field, allowing us to pressure our opponent relatively early and stall your opponent from doing any big plays with the bigger Shenrons. So this is a key card. We're going to be running 4 Shenron Shadow Dragon Leader because it's a blocker, and we're going to be able to bring this guy out from our deck or hand onto the field with our negative energy 1-star ball. He has an auto that when this card is removed, you're able to draw a card and play out a negative energy 1-star ball from the drop area onto the field, allowing us to rechain the Shenron abilities. And an auto that is very powerful. When this card is played, you're able to choose one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards and keep it locked in rest mode, and that right there stops your opponent from attacking you, so you could bring out our unison card to awaken at high life. Definitely 4 for sure. Then we have Shenron Destructive Incarnate, which is the boss card of the deck. When this card EX evolves for 1 yellow energy on top of a 4 cost Shenron, which is that Shenron that I just talked about, he is a very beast-like card that will ultimately just pressure your opponent down. He's a 30k, and he has an auto that when your opponent plays a battle card, you're just gonna negate that card's skill right off the bat, ignoring barrier, which is very key. And an auto that when this card is removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you draw 2 cards and play out a negative energy 1-star ball from the drop area, allowing you to loop the Shenron engine over and over again. Definitely 4 in the deck for sure. Another playmaker of the deck happens to be negative energy 2-star ball. Now this works just like the negative energy 1-star ball, only it plays you out the other Shadow Dragon, which I will go over in just a moment. So for 1 yellow energy, you're able to bring out a Haze Shenron that happens to be an energy cost of 3 from your deck or hand and play it out onto the field. For sure, we need 4 in this deck. So the 3 cost Hey Shenron, the Poison Mancer, is the card we're going to be able to bring out for relatively cheap with a negative energy 2-star ball. This card is a critical, and when you play this card, you're able to add yourself 1 Shadow Dragon from the drop area to your hand, allowing you to continuously bring the loops of Shadow Dragons. Definitely 4 of for sure. We're running 4 Hey Shenron Venomous Mist, the most broken Shadow Dragon in this deck for sure. It has double strike, EX Evolve on top of a 3 cost Hey Shenron, which is that Hey Shenron I just went over for no energy at all. He has an auto. You cannot play multiple copies of this card per turn, but when you evolve, you could switch this card to active mode, and the broken auto, which is this. If your leader is a Shadow Dragon and you choose 1 Shadow Dragon card in your hand and discard it, when this card attacks or it is comboed, you're able to choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode with energy cost greater than their current energy and KO it. Very powerful to remove secret rares and big battle cards that your opponent brings out early game. Awesome card for sure. Then I'm going to be running Flying Nimbus to stop your opponent from swarming you with multiple attacks, and also it's very helpful to be able to stay alive long enough to play out our 4 cost Unison that will let us awaken at high life. For sure, 4 of. I'm also going to be running Zamasu Sacred Disbelief because this is a super combo that if your leader is yellow, which it is, when you combo this card, you're able to choose your opponent's leader card or battle card and switch it to rest mode, allowing you to stay alive long enough to play out our 4 cost Unison card. A must of 4 for sure. Then I'm going to be running 4 Bergamo Furious Roar because this card, when one of your opponent's card is switched to rest mode by a skill, you're able to bring him out for just 2 energies, and upon being played, he switches 2 of your opponent's cards to rest mode, ignoring barrier, and this card is ideal since we do run Zamasu and our 4 cost Unison card switches cards to rest mode as well. We're going to be bringing this guy out for relatively cheap. Clutch card right here, 4 of for sure. Then another card that switches cards to rest mode happens to be Graded Bardock Raider's Cry, which we're going to be running 4 of. This card is a card that you could combo for 2 energies. After the combo, you're able to play it out, draw a card, switch one of your opponent's cards to rest mode that happens to be a battle card, and you have a double striker on the field. This is a must 4 of to pressure your opponent to death. I'm also running 2 Furthering Destructive Champas because when you combo this card, you're able to choose one of your attacking cards and give it double strike. And since we are just getting a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Make sure you guys subscribe. So where was I? Oh yeah, Double Strike Champa grants double strike to an attacking card, and since we're able to bring out the 30k Shenron for relatively cheap, give them a double strike to go in for game. I also noticed that this deck kinda suffers from hand destruction, so I added Graded Son Goku Saiyan's Instinct that allows you to draw 2 cards if you send this card from the drop area to the warp for just 2 energies. Clutch card right here, we're running 3 of for sure. Last but not least, we got the secret rare Black Smoke Dragon Eternal Evil. This card has a permanent that if you happen to have 12 or more cards in the drop, you can play it out for 5 energies. He has an activate main that you're able to choose 3 different options. One option warps all the cards from your opponent's side of the field, ignoring barrier. The other option sends the top 7 cards from your opponent's deck to the warp and you draw 2 cards. And the other option allows you to choose 4 cards from your opponent's hand and send them to the warp. This guy is just the Omega of the Omega Shenrons. So this is the deck, guys. Hopefully you guys like this deck profile. Be sure to join our Friday tournaments where set 10 is going to be legal and you can win yourself expansion set 11 or 12 and some ultimate gear swag. So this is the deck. Maybe if you want, you could play this deck or have your own creation of Series 10. But either way, this is the deck. Hopefully you guys like it. Subscribe if you are new here. And like we always say, y'all stay super.